Hey guys, Dr. Ben here at Fake Well Centers. I'm going to go over doom scrolling today. Some of you maybe have heard of this, some of you have not, but I almost guarantee every single one of you has done this. Every single one of you has gotten sucked into this doom scrolling thought process and just what it does to your health. What taking on these stressors from outside, from the news, from social media, all of these things can actually do to our health. So welcome everybody. Pop down below where you guys are watching from. I'll give you a shout out. Love to see you guys all over the country, all over the world, and let me know what you have done. So put in the comments down below what you have done specifically to help this. If you've had an issue with it, I know there's certain times, especially with COVID and different things, it was really easy to get sucked into, oh my gosh, how many people died today? What's happening in Ukraine? How much is gas going up to? All of these different things. But doom scrolling, a new study just came out showing the negative effect that it can do to people's health. And here's some of the things that they were looking at. They ranked and looked at different people's levels of how much it was affecting them, how much scrolling through the news, social media, if you just, and here's the thing, again, go ahead and pop down below where you guys are watching from and if you've had to cut yourself off ever from some of these things. Because here's what happens is, you are not, on Facebook, you're not on Instagram or TikTok or any of these things as just an observer. You are a consumer, and it's basically that these companies are trying to get your attention. And so it's your attention that is for sale. And ultimately then that turns it into a consumer and gets you in front of the right things. But here's what happens is there's things called algorithms that are going to track what you click on or what you follow or who, even just as you slow down and you look at so let's say you're on like a TikTok type format. Hey Rhonda, there in Australia, let's say you're on a TikTok type place and you're scroll and then but you slow down to watch that one and you slow down a little bit for that one. Instead of just swiping through in a second, you hold on to it for 6 seconds. All of those things are going to be giving feedback to the algorithms and to that system, and then they're going to give you more of those things. So if you slow down for the negative, if you slow down for that person that's like, hey guys, listen to this one, this is really bad coming up, the economy is going to get bad, or any of these things, it actually is going to put more of those in there. So here's what happened in that study and why this is so fascinating. So 16.5% of the people in the study showed a severely problematic amount of stress, anxiety, poor health status, the amount of negative news that they were consuming, and not just that they were consuming, but that it had an effect. Some people, can read something or look at something and go, well, that stinks. Well, let's move on, and they go on to the next thing. But some people, it severely impacts them. And so 16.5% of the people in this study had a severely impacted, severely problematic amount of effect on their anxiety, stress, led to poor health, etc. There was 27% was a moderate amount of negative stress that was put into their body from doom scrolling and just getting into this obsessive cycle about the news and bad news. 27% well, and there was about 17% or so that was really not affected by that. So what the study was showing was that yes, if somebody gets hooked into this cycle, and it's kind of this self-feeding as well, not just the algorithms that are putting more of the negative things in front of you, but that you could get onto CNN, you could get onto Fox News, you could get on these 24-hour news networks and be like, oh my gosh, President Trump, oh my gosh, President Biden, oh my gosh, the gas prices, oh my gosh, COVID, and so many people. I told many patients, I'm like, throw away your TV. get rid of it. You're sitting there 4 or 5 hours a night and you're just stressing about how much of a dictator this president is, and then now you're stressing about how much of a dictator that president is. You were stressing about the COVID and just the death rates and should you wear a mask, and oh my gosh, people are trying to make you do this or not do that, and how could people not get their vaccines versus other people, oh my gosh, you're so dumb for getting them, and so people would get so hooked on these things. And hey, Lorraine, good to see you there. Have you had to cut yourself off a little bit from the and Rhonda 100%. So we've all been there, and we get so hooked on these things, and yet that negative side, it's kind of like, I always look back, this really started probably 15 years ago or so with remember the Weather Channel, and there'd be a hurricane coming in, and there was that one kind of balding guy that was out there, and he was like always, just like the wind's blowing on him and all this stuff, and yet you could not stop watching. You're like, holy cow, that's what it's like to be in a actual tornado or hurricane or whatever. Winnie in Nebraska City, awesome. My great grandma lived in Nebraska City. We used to go down there a bunch. Yes, I've given up social media in the past for 9 months, and I need to cleanse my soul again. I never felt better. I'm really proud of providers and practitioners who have taken a wellness approach to health versus the typical sick care model. Great to see you there in Nebraska City. Yeah, so here's the deal. I'm talking on social media right here, and that's where we get our message out and all that stuff. And so, yes, you need to take a break. And here's what I encourage you to do. Take a Sabbath every Sunday, Saturday, whatever you want to do. Take a 24-hour Sabbath from social media, even from your phone in general. And this is, some people, they literally will go into convulsions. They'll be like, oh my gosh, what they hear at somebody else's phone ding, and they're like, oh my gosh, where's my phone? So I really, really encourage you from this Saturday night when you go to bed until Monday morning, or late Sunday night if you have to check in for work or whatever. Hey, Nancy, good to see you. I encourage you to take a Sabbath from your phone, from social media, from texting, from anything that is going to be outside stimulation. I'm reading a great book. I put it up on Instagram. It's written by a pastor, and he talks about how this hurry that we're in, this communication, constant intake of information. We've got literally the world of information, more than there's ever been in libraries or encyclopedias, anything at the tip of our finger at any moment, and to actually shut that down and to hey, good job, Rhonda. I put my phone in the bottom drawer for 24 hours or longer. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to shut that down sometimes. And so getting out of this cycle, because here's what that study showed, is that the people that were in this 16.5% of the people that were in the severely problematic group, they had health issues, they had mental issues of like 60-70% of them had significant issues, where it was like 7 or 8% of the other groups. And so those that were so engulfed, so ingrained with this had a much worse health status and brain status, mental, emotional status. So I encourage you to stop the scrolling. Surround yourself, and here's what you do to change those algorithms is you actually watch positive things. You actually watch constructive things. TikTok's kind of like the new Pinterest, where Pinterest used to be able to go, ooh, here's that's a neat recipe there or whatever, but now there's different formats that you can like watch that recipe, or you can listen to positive people, or listen to spiritual leaders, listen to pastors talking about the Bible, whatever it is, have more positive that you look at on there, and that's going to actually change the algorithm. You're going to have more of those type of people. If you follow Tim Tebow and you get his message, you're going to get more people like Tim Tebow. Also, only put TV on a couple hours a week. Great job. Darla, good to see you. Lowered my PTSD and stopped opioids altogether after 10 years. Yeah, that it is so true. We wire So think about this: brains that fire together wire together. And if you start firing with these negative people on the news, with these negative people on social media, and you can look at both sides of it during the. When President Trump was in office, there was these people that were following this cue and like all these negative things, and like, ooh, there's going to be this big thing coming up, and it's this negative coming, and they're all trying to take down Trump and all that stuff, and so people were firing together with that, and it was really revving this up. And then on the other side, you had all these people that were firing together on CNN and MSNBC, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's a dictator. They're trying to take down our democracy. They're going to steal the election. But then on the other side, they were firing together on that one, like, oh my gosh, they stole the election. President Trump was in the lead all the way till bedtime on election night, and then the next morning he woke up and 6 or 7 states had flipped. So that must mean the election got stolen. And so we start firing with this. With these people that we surround ourselves. So in the Bible, they talk about iron sharpens iron. And this is something that is so important. So I encourage you to surround yourself physically with people that are positive, people that are going to bring you up, people that are going to lift you up, and that you can also lift up as well. And then at the next level, then you surround yourself in that social media world, your friends on Facebook and all these different places, surround yourself with the right people there as well. And then the next bubble, surround yourself with the news and with different things that are going to be positive things. And if there's things that you're, like gas prices, are you going to be able to change that? No. So you go up to the pump and you see what the gas price is, and like, that stinks. Okay, maybe I'll vote different next time, or maybe I'll do, write a letter or whatever. But sitting there and stressing about it and like watching oil prices is not going to change anybody. So, this is a huge part of health and getting your vitality back. So I encourage you guys, stop doom scrolling. Social media has its purposes, and yet when things become a true distraction from our connection to our source and our divine there, that is when it becomes something evil and something negative. And so doom scrolling, get out of that negative cycle. It's going to help your health. It's going to help your emotional well-being. And you're just going to see these massive changes. So there you go, guys. Stop stressing, stop the negativity. There's enough things just in our real life, and so we need to now put it down. I encourage you. Let's say this Sunday, take a Sabbath. Put your phone in the drawer. Don't look at it. Don't, you turn off all the sounds, all those things. Take a 24-hour Sabbath from your phone. The other thing, this is a real simple one that you can do, is to turn off all of your notifications on your phone. No ding, no sound, not even showing you a number on there, because again, that's, hey, I've got 3. I better check to see how many I've gotten there. Turn off all notifications, everything on your phone, and you will be so much more peaceful, and you'll realize that you really didn't miss a thing. Take care, guys.